Bear down, guys. We know that Kevin Warren is gutless. We know that he's not going to fire a Chicago coach mid-season because they may lose 3 games in a row or so. Oh, I'm sorry, they already did that. So, it stands to reason that what you want to do is you just want to make sure for continuity purposes, wink, wink, that you don't just cut your coach loose. But Matt Eberflus not under a long-term contract that's prohibitive from preventing a move from this. So it is now decided, it appears, that the Bears will be moving on. He will finish out the season, but Kevin Warren has already come up with a list of potential candidates, and we're going to go over them right now. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in, and LFG, baby. Let's go. And by the way, just to clarify, Justin Fields, he's not a candidate. All right, guys, the list has been revealed. Number 1 on the list, for some reason, is Mike Vrabel. Now, if that is the case, that's former Tennessee Titans head coach. That's a defensive-minded coach. I really don't like this decision right away from Kevin Warren. And I know, look, we want a tough defense. If you're looking for a tough defense, Mike Vrabel's going to give you that. But this is not a team that's built right now for that defense. It exists based on the defense. We have a strong defense, and with a good defensive coordinator, would continue to have a strong defense. But this is about learning how to go out and win ball games. And Ben Johnson right now is at number 2, and this is the high-octane guy in which Tom Brady said the NFL has no answer for Ben Johnson right now, and that's the kind of guy that you want to pair with your superstar quarterback, Caleb Williams. Otherwise, you're just going to end up with Mike Vrabel coaching your defense and maybe an offensive coordinator doing a Luke Getsy or Shane Waldron type job. Guys, this should be about making sure that Caleb Williams functions at the highest level. He's your first overall draft pick. It is nonsense to see the Chicago Bears continuing to lean into defensive-minded head coaches. And look, we've bing-bonged back and forth. Matt Eberflus, a defensive-minded coach. You go to Vrabel again with a defensive-minded coach. By the way, look, hard-nosed running, but, is that a product of Derrick Henry and not really Mike Vrabel's offense? Look, I don't know. Mike Vrabel just seems to me like not a great selection over here, but this is a little bit more towards it. This is not an accident about going towards an experienced candidate. Throughout Warren's stint in the NFL from 97 to 2019, every team he worked for took a similar approach. They hired Dick Vermeil in St. Louis and won a Super Bowl. They hired Steve Mariucci in Detroit. Minnesota went with Brad Childress, Leslie Frazier, and Mike Zimmer. While all three weren't head coaches before, each had at least 20 years of NFL experience before getting the job. Vrabel ran the Titans organization for 6 seasons. That time, he had a winning record 4 times, made the playoffs 3 times, won 2 division titles, and reached the AFC Championship. So, look, he earned a reputation for being a hard-nosed leader known for discipline and toughness. Now, that part matters the most. He earned a reputation for being a disciplinarian and being tough. And that's exactly what the Chicago Bears need right now. Somebody who actually holds people accountable. Because accountability, look, guys, there's a litany of reasons that Matt Eberflus does not hold people accountable for anything that they do. The only time you've seen him accountable is when he's firing his own coaches after they continue to do what he hired them to do very poorly. So, this is a testament to the character of Matt Eberflus. Will we see some kind of... And by the way, I apologize about my mouth. I just got my teeth done. I got my teeth cleaned yesterday. So now I'm just... Sorry about that. Now, from the Bears' perspective, Ben Johnson right now is the guy. He's widely considered the next greatest offensive mind, elevating the Detroit Lions to elite status the past 3 years. They're Super Bowl favorites. He has Jared Goff in MVP conversations. Do not forget, Jared Goff was a castaway and a toss-off from the Los Angeles Rams because they didn't feel like he could take them and win the Super Bowl. And of course, they did win the Super Bowl with Matthew Stafford that very next year as Jared Goff was cast off to Detroit. And guess what? Now Jared Goff is the leading candidate or one of the leading candidates for MVP, and Detroit looks like the team that Los Angeles Rams wanted to be. Now, The Rams did win a Super Bowl, but here we have Jared Goff showing out and showing up every single week. So pairing him with Williams would be an easy sell. Whether the Bears maintain this stance as the season draws to a close is unknown. Now, here's the worst thing that could happen. What if the Bears start winning games? What if this move from Shane Waldron to Thomas Brown leads to the Bears starting to put points on the board? And look, Matt Eberflus has not lost this defense. The defense still played tough even when the Bears were losing. Now, look, you give up 29 points, and you can say to yourself, yeah, well, they gave up 29 points. Yeah, and you know what? We don't like to see that. But that was one game. Every team is entitled to a bad game where you get bad matchups, you just get behind, and you can't catch up, and it snowballs from there. But we held Green Bay to less than 3 touchdowns and 20 points. Coming back from it, had a chance to win at the end of the game. This is not a horrible team. This is just a poorly coached team. Even a poorly coached team that's motivated. Going back to Caleb Williams a couple of weeks ago, he said that, bad teams are led by their coaches, good teams are led by their coaches, and great teams are led by the players. The players are accountable, and they're accountable to each other, not to a head coach who doesn't really hold people accountable. So there's a distinct possibility that we could see something crazy happen, and Matt Eberflus ends up with a winning record this season, which would be nonsense at this point. But it is entirely possible. If the Bears get on a win streak, they could end up 10-7 and be in the playoffs under Matt Eberflus. Now, that's to me, that's not a great outcome. But if Thomas Brown does his job and he creates opportunity for the Bears to actually win and go out there and really start to show out and put their foot on the gas, scoring points, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Bear down, guys. We've got Minnesota coming this week, and it's going to be a good one. I think that the Bears have an opportunity to go out there and beat Minnesota. The Bears have been playing down, while Minnesota, I think, has been playing up right now. So certainly interested to see how that plays out. It'll be fascinating to see Jalen Johnson versus Justin Jefferson for an entire game. Let me know what you think in the comments down below.